Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and this is race number 15 in season number 6 of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill Truck Series. We are here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. This, the Intuit Quickbooks 220 laps of action around this 2.6 mile superspeedway in Seattle, Washington. And it's going to be very interesting the next couple of races because it's two super speedways, one right after another. We got Armory Digital tonight, and on Wednesday we go to Talladega. And the way the championship's going and the way Fisher G is pouring away in this championship, he's got to be careful not to get involved in any wrecks. But I'm alongside Cameron Garlington for the first time ever. Great to have you on board, man. Great to have this guy on board. Go ahead and check out his channel, by the way. He does NO 2003 as well, doing it for just as long as I have, and he does just as good. So I definitely recommend checking him out. But gonna ask you, man, you've won here before in the Turkey Hill series back in season number 3 over there. And of course you didn't get involved in an accident, so what do you say to Fisher G, who leads in the championship 57 points? What do you tell him to do in this race to avoid getting involved in an accident in both this race and Talladega?
Well, I just want to say thank you for having me. And as for Fisher G, really, honestly, his strategy needs to be stay out of any pockets of driverless, or of just no drivers. Find a draft that works and ride your way to the front. If you can do that, you can win. Otherwise, you're going to fall back and you're not going to have a chance. Yeah. That goes for any driver as well.
It does, and we'll see a lot of drivers move their way to the inside and then fall back. There's going to be a lot of cycling in this race, I do believe, but I think another variable we really haven't thought about too much is if you saw the opening race of the season at Daytona, Zachary Fitzwater and John Art were the two guys who led every single lap of that race. Nobody else got to the front. This is another super speedway. We might see that happen out of these guys who are up front, like Ace Garcia and Emily Anderson. We just don't know what we're going to see because at Daytona, it surprised us. We only saw 2 different drivers lead that race in 25 laps. It's a shorter race in 20 laps. We could see something very similar happen tonight, but either way, we know that Fisher G is leading in the points, 402 points towards the championship for him. Edwin Mendez is 57 points behind. Mendez has closed in the points past couple of times, but he's done so minimally. Of course, Mendez won at Pocono last week, and he gained about 9 points on him at Bristol on Wednesday night. Cole Sampson is 68 points behind. He had a lot of major issues in qualifying last night. Blew his engine multiple times, and it could not get a lap in. He starts 36th. Skylar Perry is 79 points behind. Dan Park is 82 points behind, coming into tonight's event here from the Armory Digital Super Speedway. And starting on the pole, it is the number 55 of Ace Garcia. He was faster than anybody else last night. The only driver under 49 seconds in qualifying last night. And, of course, if things go the way they did at Daytona back in September, he could have a good shot at possibly winning tonight's event. He's alongside Emily Anderson. Emily Anderson has yet to win a race in 2019. Of course, she's a really solid driver, ran a rookie season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series over the summer. We'll have to see what she can do here tonight. A good starting position for the number 37 team. Matthew Logan alongside Eric Monaco in row at number 2. Number 3 sees Dan Park and Nick Smith. Nicholas Samadio in the number 7 is starting alongside Skylar Perry, and this Chris Skinlark, and Wednesday's winner at Bristol, Trey Smith, who went flag to flag from the Rocky Ridge Custom Trucks 200. He's going for a second straight race victory here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. Only one driver has won multiple races this season. That is Chase Marks, who won at ISM and Texas earlier this season. Everyone else has only won once this season. Not many multiple winners so far this season. And our points leader is yet to win a race this season. Fisher G starts deep in the field in 30th. But I'm going to ask you, Cameron, a lot of great drivers in this field. Who do you think is going to be in victory lane at the end of the night here in the Intuit Quickbooks 200?
You know, Ace Garcia displayed what I think is one of the most dominant qualifying runs out of anybody. He starts on the pole here today. I'm really liking his chances. If he does end up falling back, if he can get back up fairly quickly, I think he might have a chance at this one. And unfortunately for Fisher G, I think he's gonna remain out of victory lane for at least another race.
We'll have to see what happens. Of course, Fisher G holds a 57-point lead coming into this race. Edwin Mendez starting in 28th, trying to catch up on him in the points. We'll have to see what happens in the points. We'll have to see who happens up front. It's going to be a wild race here tonight in Seattle, Washington. Ace Garcia, Emily Anderson, we're Green Flag Racing. The Armory Digital Superspeedway. Lap 1 will be led by Matthew Logan. Bonus point towards the championship for him right there. Dan Park trying to get to the inside of him for that top position. And he's got some help there from Chris Skinler, but already back in the field. We got 4 wide going on, and that was McAngelo on the Wangwu. He almost hit the apron, shot back up. That checked the field up, and we got a bit of a gap in the packs now. Very interesting what happened there with Nwangwu. We saw a lot of that happen at Bristol where the guys were hitting the apron, and we just saw it right there at a super speedway. Very interesting stuff right there, and that is going to definitely create an interesting scenario for these guys. We've got 2 packs going on right now here on lap 2.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that we were talking about in qualifying is being able to stay in line with a pack and keep the draft. And with that break, some of those guys are going to fall back and lose out on a bigger chance.
Of course, these guys running restrictor plates are probably going to close back in, and they pretty much have, but that's going to slow some guys up in the back of the field. Trey Smith going to lead a lap right there, and he's back to where he was on Wednesday in the lead here at Armory Digital. The Nick Smith, the other Smith in the field, rolling to the inside. I think somebody else did the same thing. Another split in the pack right there. It might have been Dale Lightning. Possibly hit that apron and fell back, but that's the second time we've seen in 2 straight laps that someone's hit that apron entering turn number 2, and it's split the pack up a little bit, and I've never seen this before here at Armory Digital, but might be something we got to watch out for the rest of the race.
Oh yeah, this is a game changer. If it comes down to the final few laps and someone hits the apron and slows everyone down, it's gonna open the door for some of these slower guys to kind of catch back up to the draft if it comes to it.
Chris Skinler looking for a rebound in his season. It's been a tough season for this team and Norlow Racing, but Chris Skinler doing all he can to get a good run here tonight. Of course, it's a wild card race. Everyone in contention for the race victory, and it could be anybody in victory lane no matter where you start in this race here tonight. Already on lap 4 of 20 here in Armory Digital. There goes Dan Park trying to get a run on Trey Smith, but Trey Smith is doing an excellent job, and we're starting to see what we saw at Daytona where only a couple guys kind of stay in the lead. And Trey Smith looking for his 3rd straight lap lead here at Armory Digital, going for 2 wins in a row. Of course, he led every lap at Bristol on Wednesday, but it would be someone else if he could lead a majority of the race here tonight at a super speedway. But he's going to lead another one right there. Dan Park in second, trying to find a way around him. Going on the outside lane right there, and they're going to go 4 wide for second. It's Nick Smith on the inside of Madison Toll and Matthew Logan, and Smith with a great run on the inside lane.
And I think I see Fisher G making his way up through the field in the back here.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's on a pretty good run at the moment.
That's exactly what he did at Bristol on Wednesday. He started deep in the field for that race and clawed his way up to the 14th position and only lost 9 points on Edwin Mendez. But right now he's ahead of Edwin Mendez in the field, and he is moving his way to the race lead, going for his first win of the season. And of course, remember last year, Andrew Ross was a championship contender. He only won 1 race last year, and that was this one right here at Armory Digital on the Super Speedway. Around in the wall hard, and on her side, Madison Toll. Ace Garcia's involved. The number 5 of Eli Bright caught up. Dale Lightning, Matt Tuck, Jesse Turner, Chase Marks, Joe Rutkowski. Madison Toll caught up. I think Fisher G avoided this one. I don't know if he has any damage, but he was behind it. Race back to the line between Matthew Logan and Dan Park.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I said earlier. If you can avoid that wreck, you can definitely keep going. I believe that was Eli Bright who was upside down. Hopefully he's okay.
Dan Park's going to
Definitely.
win the race back to the line in the number 2. So he will most likely lead the field to the restart. Jesse Turner all torn up. Matt Tuck as well. A lot of these guys started in the back of the field. Seth Cole, Eric Monaco, Dale Lightning, and Madison Tall took a hard hit to the outside while she rode the wall for a while there in the number 54 machine. Rutkowski, and you were correct about that, Cameron. It was Eli Bright who went upside down there. And our pole sitter, Ace Garcia, destroyed, and his night's going to be over in the number 55. Another driver got caught up in that one, I believe it was Edwin Mendez, and that is not at all what Mendez needed, especially considering that Fisher G avoided this accident. He might lose some more points to Fisher G, and that's just going to make it even easier for Fisher G to clinch this championship. He could possibly clinch it at Talladega on Wednesday if things go his way here tonight. But he avoided that one. He came close to getting involved in a wreck at Pocono last week. Had Eli Bright go around him, right behind him, and for all we know, that could have been him if things played out differently. And he avoided another one here tonight. That's what it takes to win a championship, and that's what Fisher G's been doing so far this season. And staying out of trouble and getting those top 10 runs. Dan Park, the race leader here at Armory Digital, lap 7 of 20 right now. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring up the first caution of the night in the Intuit Quickbooks 200. You see right there, Seth Cole in the 52 moved up into Eric Monaco. They were just too close for comfort, and that sent Madison Tall on the wall in the 54. And then ahead of him, Eli Bright and Dale Lightning got into it, and Fisher G was right with all that, and somehow he avoided it. That is where Ace Garcia gained his damage. Edwin Mendez got a piece of this one, and everyone's trying to scramble to avoid it, and it's sometimes a little too hard to do that. Matt Tuck right into Ace Garcia right there. And Turner got into Eric Monaco. Seth Cole, Madison Toll sliding down, and then at the end of all this, Eli Bright. For the second time in 3 races, Eli Bright upside down on a racetrack. He went upside down at Pocono last week, and he's upside down again in the number 5 machine.
And for most of these drivers, it was really just a case of they couldn't avoid it. It all happened in front of them, and some contenders possibly just got knocked out. As you can see here, they just really get too close to each other, and it all just leads them up the track. Madison Tall into the wall, riding it, not what you want to see. And then Ace Garcia looked like he may have been able to make it past the initial incident, just kind of got caught up in the second part of it, which led to getting T-boned and then Eli Bright flipping over. It's just not a good wreck to see, especially for these guys in the back.
And that's very similar to the wreck that ended the race last year. Ended the race under caution. Of course, this happened midway through, and we'll have a lot more racing left to go, including Fisher G, who's still out there now. I don't think Mendez has too much damage. He's got a piece of that one, just got caught behind. Don't see much damage on the 63, so this thing is far from over for him. But we'll have to see how these final few laps go. The thing for Edwin Mendez is if Fisher G gets involved in the wreck at the end of this race, he's not going to fall back as much as he would if he got involved in a wreck at the early part of this race. So, all about those points. We'll have to see how it all shakes out at the end. Dan Park leads the field in the number 2. Even he still has a shot at the championship. We'll have to see what he can do when we get to the restart here in the Intuit Quickbooks 200 at Armory Digital. We're back here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway in the Turkey Hill Truck Series season number 6 Intuit Quickbooks 200 action. Only 4 races remain in the schedule, and Fisher G trying to clinch this championship within the next couple of races. And he avoided that accident, and Edwin Mendez is behind him, so it's looking good for the number 43 team in Big Names Motorsports, but we still have half of this race left to go. We'll restart with 10 laps to go here, with Dan Park leading the field. Trey Smith has been doing a great job in this race, coming off of that race victory at Bristol on Wednesday. McAngelo Nwang, who won at Las Vegas in the second race of the season. Haven't seen much of him since then, but he's got an opportunity at a race victory. Chris Skidlar, great run for him in the number 12. And Matthew Logan rounds out the top 5. Nick Smith, Nicholas Samadio's up here. Andrew Ross, Matthew Brown, and Jason Tucker, the top 10, with Fisher G in 12th. Edwin Mendez, who is 57 behind Fisher G, currently in the 25th position. That's where he'll restart. And even though he went upside down, Eli Bright
Wow.
is still going to race. He's 2 laps down, though. Same with Joe Radkowski and Chase Marks. Those guys had to do some repairs. Everyone else on the lead lap except for Madison Toll, Ace Garcia, Matt Tuck, and Jesse Turner. Those 4 guys out of the race on lap 7. Green flag back in the air, and Armory Digital for Dan Park.
I'm honestly really surprised that Eli Bright is back out on the track. That's fantastic.
Not going to win the race, but still pretty cool that he's still out there plugging away at it, trying to salvage a couple of points. McAngelo Nwangwu from 3rd to the race lead. And he's bringing Matthew Logan with him. I think this place is going to have some pretty good runs here at the end of the race, because these guys have high downforce, just like it was at Pocono. You guys saw that race, saw all the huge runs those guys were getting at the end of that one. I think we're going to see something very similar to that here tonight. And Armory Digital coming in 9 laps to go for McAngelo Nwangwu. Matthew Logan looking to get to the inside, and here's somebody 4 wide on the inside, and his name is Fisher G. You might have heard of him. Trying to get something to work on the inside, but not enough momentum on that inside lane. He's going to fall back a little bit, but still in this lead draft right now, that is exactly what Fisher G wants here in this race. Just get a good top 15 run and hold on to that points lead.
Oh yeah, if that would have worked out, that would have been fantastic. However, he doesn't really have any help, and he's going to continue to fall back just for a little bit.
Have to see how it all shakes up, but he has lost quite a few positions last lap or so. Back to the race lead, McAngelo Nwangwu holds on. Here's number 12, Chris Skinlar, trying to get his first win of the year, his first win since 2017. Trey Smith there, right behind him. Watch out for Trey Smith here tonight. I think he's going to have a good shot at this race victory. Matthew Logan as well has been up front for a majority of this event. There goes Andrew Ross, looking to get a run to the inside of Dan Park. Side by side for the race lead. I believe Nwangwu's going to get the run on the outside and lead another lap.
Yeah, and Chris Skinlart has Trey Smith to help out there. I think Smith might make a move for the lead quite soon, make it 3 wide, possibly. Or not.
We'll have to see. He doesn't make the move right now. Matthew Logan's going to try on him. Matthew Brown's behind these guys for Andrews Racing. They've yet to really contend for the win this season, but they're up here. They have a shot. Shane Lake, the Chicagoland winner's up here as well. Watch out for him. Edwin Mendez, he's not too far off of Fisher G. You know, all Mendez needs to do is just gain a few points, and he's still in contention. That's all Mendez needs to do, and that's what he wants to do. He knows he can do it, and even though he's at the end of this pack, he still has a shot at finishing ahead of Fisher G here tonight at Armory Digital. We'll have to see what he can do. But Fisher G is kind of hanging in the back of this pack. He's not really going for any moves, not getting involved in any 4-wide situation. That might be the move to go with in that number 43 team. They are not going to go for the win. They want to keep those points. But right there, exiting turn number 1. And one very, very unique aspect about this racetrack is that in between turns 1 and 2, there's a little banked straightaway. It's unique to any racetrack we have. A straightaway is banked just like the turns, and there's a kink right there in the racetrack, and those guys get pretty loose off of turn 1. Thankfully, we haven't seen any accidents occur because of it, but you can see it gets pretty wild as these guys go through that corner. And we'll see them go through that corner 6 more times as they cross the line. Only 6 laps to go here in Armory Digital for McAngelo Nwangwu, looking very strong in the number 78, going for his 2nd win of the year.
Yeah, and you can see Trey Smith finally found his spot in 2nd with that 69 machine of Matthew Logan right behind him. Not too close, not enough to really affect anything, but I think, like, kind of almost like we predicted towards the end of this one, really things have mellowed out. They've gone single file, at least in the first 2 positions, and not much passing has occurred.
McAngelo Nwangwu, I believe, is on the verge of leading the most laps in this race here, and both he and Trey Smith is content to stay behind him. They're pulling away from the rest of the field going single file like this. Trey Smith is running a very smart race right now on the number 35 machine, but at some point he's going to have to try to make a move on Nwangwu for this race lead. These guys are going to have to go single file if they're going to catch up to him. Matthew Logan trying to find a way to the 35. Trying to work that inside there off of turn number 1, get a run to the inside of him, and he's got a pretty good run there off of turn number 2.
Yeah, it was a pretty good run. However, I do think it might be too early for him to try and take 2nd, especially since how passing has been going the past few laps. It hasn't really gone too well for anybody that's tempted.
He tried to get a run on the outside, could not do it, but It is clear what Trey Smith wants to do. He's going to wait to that last lap to make a move, I believe, and that's something we don't see too often. These guys are usually trying to make the move right away, but I think these guys are finally figuring out. Oh, and the wall hard! That's Cole Sampson and Shane Lake, and lap 16 of 24 laps to go. That'll end the race. Nwangwu won the race back to the line, and flipping upside down is a 91 of Cole Sampson. I believe he got hit by somebody, but a hard hit through the tri-oval, and he's going to end on his side.
That's not what you want to see. That's... ouch.
Chase Marks, Shane Lake, Trey Bartow involved, Dale Lightning with damage in the 31. He's done. And just like last year, going to end this race 4 laps early. A caution with 4 laps to go. That's going to end it here at Armory Digital. And there's the number 63 of Edwin Mendez. He is done. A tough break for him right there. He's not going to gain anything on Fisher G, but if he can stay out and salvage that position on the racetrack, he won't lose too many points to Fisher G, but it's looking really good for this 43 now. Looking really good. Only 3 races remaining on the schedule after tonight, and he had a good run. Not the best of runs for him, but 15th is exactly where you want to be if you have a big points lead.
Oh yeah, anything helps. Especially if you don't have a win, continuing to get points. That's a major thing to do.
So McAngelo and the Nwangwu looking to gain his 2nd win of the year. Of course, it's not over yet. You never know when we can see an engine failure. We saw Cole Sampson have a lot of issues yesterday, but he had a much bigger issue here. He got shot into the outside wall through the tri-oval. It's going to end the race early. Let's go ahead and see what happened to bring out the caution. The final one of the night here at the Armory Digital Superspeedway. This was massively unexpected. Cole Sampson's moving up, Shane Lake's moving down, and they did not judge it correctly. Shane Lake clips him right into the outside wall, and Jason Tucker had nowhere to go, and the problem is you got that pack behind this one. The second pack that's going to come right in on these guys, and they're going full speed. But somehow Fisher G avoids this. Trey Bartow, John Art, and Zachary Fitzwater. Actually, John Art did a pretty good job there. But Trey Bartow did not avoid that. You see Shane Lake catch some air right there. Emily Anderson, Dale Lightning, Alexander Rowe, Adam Garcia got rear-ended by Edwin Mendez, and right here, Cole Sampson.
Yeah, that's a dizzying experience. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he can get out, but that's not what you want to happen.
A little mesmerizing to see a barrel roll like that. We'll replay that in real time too. It's a much faster flip than that. But even at that speed, it looks too fast. And Cole Sampson, it's just been a miserable weekend here in Armory Digital for that team. And I'm pretty sure he's glad that it's over here from the Intuit Quickbooks 200.
Cole Sampson really not looking like he's going to get too involved, and just kind of meets the perfect time. Really didn't look like he was going to go up until this end spot right here. He just kind of kept flipping. Really didn't seem that hard of a hit, and he just kept going.
It was a wild ride for him, though. No doubt about it. And everyone else cleared out of that pretty quickly. Dale Lightning all torn him. We're going to go on board with Cole Sampson, per the request of Cameron Garlington here. That's going to be a wild one to see what happened on the 91. On board, the number 91 of Cole Sampson. Get ready.
There he goes. It's like an amusement park ride. Just around and around. That's... oh.
And he ended up landing on his side. So that was a wild one right there for him. But either way, it's going to end the race a little early, but maybe it's a good thing. Don't want anyone else getting involved in anything. McAngelo and the Nwangwu, number 78, led the most laps of this race. Going to get another bonus point towards the championship for that. Given that he does not blow an engine or have some sort of mechanical issue on this final lap or on these final few laps, he's going to be your winner. So let's go ahead and get the official finish of the race here from the Intuit Quickbooks 200 from Armory Digital. And we are on the last lap of the race here under caution. The second year in a row this race has ended 4 laps early. We ended up with a caution of 16 laps last year. Ended up with a caution on lap 12. This year we ended up with a caution on lap 16 of 20, and only 4 laps left to go. And there's only 4 races left if you include this one too. But only 4 laps left, not enough time to get everything cleaned up so they can get back out there, and that's going to do it. McAngelo and the Wangwu going to win one of the wackier races we've had this season. It's been a wacky season all around for the trucks. We've had so many different things happen. We had Chicagoland, where all those guys were coming in at the end, and Pocono being that short race it was. Pocono was probably one of the more mild races that we had. Last Wednesday, we had Trey Smith lead every lap. Of course, Daytona started out really weird, only 2 different leaders in that one. We had more leaders here tonight, but still, passing was difficult for the race lead, and once Nwangwu took the race lead, nobody could get past him. And it's going to be his second win of the season. Got the race victory at Las Vegas. That one was also under caution. Nwangwu has yet to take a checker flag under the green flag here on Napa Fan, but he'll take it. McAngelo and the Nwangwu's second win of the season. He is going to go to victory lane here tonight in the Intuit Quickbooks 200 at Armory Digital. McAngelo Nwangwu, second win of the season in Season 6 of the NOFSRL Turkey Hill Truck Series.
Yeah, he did everything right, held the draft, was able to stay out front. Not surprised that he won. He did a really great job.
And so McAngelo and the Nwangwu, the race winner. There are the official standings right there. Trey Smith finishing in second, rebounding pretty well in these last couple of races, backing up that race victory he had on Wednesday. Matthew Brown, Dan Park, Matthew Logan, Igor Barreto, Andrew Ross, Owen Miles, Chris Skindler, and Josh Williams in the top 10. And Fish G going to finish around 17th. Not the best of runs, but he still finished ahead of Edwin Mendez, who had to come down the pit lane, and Mendez unfortunately failing the finish here tonight at the Armory Digital Superspeedway, and we don't have the capability of talking about the points, but it's pretty obvious what that's going to be. As you see the points right there, Fisher G still holding on by over a race and then some. I'm going to ask you, Cameron, do you see anybody finding a way around Fisher G in the final 3 races of the season? We got Talladega, Darlington, and Homestead. I mean, it's going to take a mammoth mistake out of the 43 team to lose this championship, but do you think it could possibly happen in these final 3 races?
Honestly, from experience and what I like to say, anything can and will happen, possibly. But the way that this 43 team has been racing and driving, it's dominating. It's really, it's hard to surpass that. And really, I don't see anyone passing him. I do believe it'll be closer than what it looks like, but I really think he's going to be able to hold on to this one.
And we'll just have to see what happens in these next 3 races, but it's looking a lot like the Chick-fil-A Cup Series over the summertime, and Nathan Baer dominated and ended up coming home with the championship 2 races early. Of course, we're going to have 2 races early next time at the Talladega Superspeedway, the Cookout 250. I think we'll see more passing in that race. I don't think that's going to be affected by the rules changes, but it's going to be a wild one there at Talladega, and you never know what's going to happen when you come to a place like that. But we'll have to see how it all shakes out there around that the biggest, baddest, fastest super speedway we go to. It's a little bit longer than Armory Digital, and let's see how it all goes down there. 23 laps at Talladega Wednesday. This coming Wednesday, only 3 races remaining. And then we got Darlington next Saturday morning, and Christmas Day, it's the New Era 259 in the Turkey Hill Truck Series from Homestead. But other than that, that's how we'll wrap up the year. We have the Christmas Eve 500. We had signs for that just a little while ago, so if you guys get the ride you wanted, we'll be doing that along with Nathan Staple and Travis Crampton in the NIRA. But we have 4 races. No, I'm wrong. We have 6 races because it's got the Krispy Kreme Series finishing out. We got a Krispy Kreme Series race tomorrow morning at the Kansas Speedway. Hope you guys check that out. But we're looking forward to the end of the year coming in. The Chick-fil-A Cup Series, Turkey Hill Series coming back in 2020. It is going to be a great year. And we might might be seeing this guy back in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series right next year as well. Definitely looking forward to that. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching here from the Armory Digital Superspeedway. Hope you had a great night. And we will see you guys on Wednesday for the Cookout 250 from Talladega. On behalf of Cameron Garland, it's great to have you on board for a race. We'll do some more in the future. We'll see you guys next time here in the Turkey Hill Truck Series. I will see you guys later.